Our first photographer is Ben Chu. And Ben is a Western New Mexico University graduate student who picked up photography as a hobby and focuses on birds. Title of his presentation is Photography as a Tool for Solving Bird Identification Challenges. I'll have to tell you, I'm a little bit 5 minutes behind. I wasn't thinking right. So we're going to run over. We'll just give them the full 20 minutes.
Okay, so this is a presentation on the usage of camera technology to improve bird identification in the field because the human eye isn't a very good tool to use. And even with the help of a binocular, it's not necessarily all that useful. And I'll show you why. This is a basic workflow, and I'll go over this very quickly, very basically. I have two cameras that I use normally. One is a D850, which is a professional DSLR, and the other one is a P1000 that I use as a last resort because it has much powerful magnification, but its resolution is lower, which is all very important for how you manipulate the image afterwards. So, I get a good camera, then I adjust more settings. Only about 5 to 10% of your images will be successful, but that's fine because cameras can take a lot of images and they have a lot of memory. You edit it afterwards and you crop it, apply all the other final effects or whatever, and then you put it into a spreadsheet to keep track of it. I'll show you an example right here. I took this picture. This is a bird. Can you tell what it is? I took this picture in broad daylight, but it was early in the morning and the shadows were terrible. So it doesn't matter because with a human eye, you can only see this, even with binoculars, 12 times magnification, and it's pretty close, just 20 meters away. But normal HD photos take pictures at less than 1 megapixel resolution. My camera takes pictures, at least this one, takes pictures at about 45.7, which means I can hypercrop it like this. This is an effective 45 to 47 times magnification, at least in this case. And it's too dark, well, that's fine. After you edit it, you can edit the exposure, the detail, everything else. Now you can clearly see it's a bush tit. So you can change everything very, very well. As another example here, this was taken at Bosque del Apache. Now it's 200 meter distance. Even this camera isn't enough. But the P1000, which can magnify up to about 60 times, 3,000 millimeters effective focal length. This is what you can get. 85 to 90 times magnification. It's like walking around with a personal spotting scope. It's now clear that this is an immature bald eagle. As another example, what is this? This was taken at the High Desert Humane Society in the morning. Again, the light is terrible as a shadow, but zoom in, edit the picture. It's an American kestrel. Very huge difference. So two cameras is kind of necessary, especially you need very good cameras, but once you have them, you can do things like this. What are these? These are clearly ducks, but you don't know what kind of ducks they are. This one, I mean, it's a bit dark, a bit far away. If you zoom in, there are two Mexican ducks blending in, probably hybrids. So all that is pretty useful and effective, but what if you zoom in and you still don't know what it is? Maybe you're not that much of an expert or anything. Well, that's fine because you can share it with experts. I'm not an expert, but I can ask people using images like this, what type of bird? If you look online, you'll see a lot of people who say, if you see a sparrow that looks roughly like this and it's very darkly colored, it's a fox sparrow, but that's not true. This is actually a song sparrow. And because of how high quality the image is, the grayish bill and the coarse streaky breasts identify as a song sparrow instead of a fox. So don't rely too much on what you see with just your own eyes. Images can help for very unusual birds. Things. Oh, this is still a song sparrow. It's extremely strongly colored. I think this is a form of hypermelanism or something. As another example, what is this? Cassin's purple or house. This is a house finch. You can clearly see all of the details here, the more curved bill, lacking an apparent crest, light gray in the cheek that Cassin's finch and purple finches don't have, the dark streaks on the belly and everything. What about this? This is, again, taken in Silver City. Is it a greater or a lesser scalp? It's a lesser. The slight peak at the back of the head and the back of the head is more flat. And there's these. If you looked, say, like over there, you already got it spoiled for you know what these are. But this is a red-tailed hawk, the dark patagial wing marks. And then this is a common raven, the larger bill, if you zoom in really close here, and shorter nasal bristles. So now I think there are some experts in this audience that probably already knew all of that. So then no hints. What is this? Does anybody know? You can shout out. That's a good guess, but no. It's another immature bald eagle, that one. What about this one? No hints. Sagebrush, yeah. Sagebrush sparrow. I think I took this as cienega or something, was told it was a rare bird. What about this one? Yeah, it's a cliff swallow because of the white thing on its forehead, white patch. These are all pretty easy so far. What about this one? Close, but this was identified as a broad-tailed hummingbird. Yeah, I think because of the chin and the rufous, slightly rufous side here that the other hummingbirds at that place didn't have. Now we're getting a bit harder because I didn't even ID this with visually. I ID'd this with sound, but if anybody wants to take a guess, what is this? Oh, it's a Western meadowlark because of the call, but yeah, I wouldn't have been able to tell apart either. I don't know. What about this one? This is taken in Silver City, right across the street from my house. Yeah. What is it? So it's a woodpecker. Yeah, it's a Williamson sapsucker. It's a female Williamson sapsucker. So now we're gonna probably have to get a bit harder. What about this one? Where do you think I took this picture? Have you ever seen anything like this? No. It's all good guesses, but this is actually a trick question. I took this in Taiwan. It's a Malayan night heron. So yeah, it's fine. This is the hardest one I have. I personally, I have no idea. I would have no idea what this is unless I only know what this is because I asked experts before me. But what do you guys think this is? No, it's not a falcon. No. The adult looks very gray. This is also taken in New Mexico, if that's a hint. No, it's a juvenile gray hawk. Yeah. So that's it. Just all of it. If anyone wants to like look at some things, I did not put this together, but some things about like my pictures or just kind of some information on them. There's not a lot right now, but I mean, here's a QR code if you have a phone and want to look at it, and that's it. Anybody have any questions?
Hummingbird, then. This, you took this picture, we live closely in our neighborhood, is that correct?
Yeah, at Silver Creek Botanical Garden.
Yeah. That bird. Where?
What's your favorite then?
My favorite picture is not a bird picture. It's a space picture. I don't have it right now, but I don't know, maybe this one if we're talking about birds. It's a great blue heron.
Any more questions here? There's one in the back there. Can you
Yeah.
speak louder or?
Like how many hours?
Let me see. Wait. I don't really know. It varies sometimes. It used to be like, it probably used to be maybe like 40 hours a week when I first started because I didn't know about birds associated, but then I started getting all of them. Now it varies. It's at least a couple hours a week. About it.
Go back to that Kestrel photograph I did of the Humane Society. I was with you on that trip. I remember how far away that bird was. Yeah, I am astounded. I'm not a photographer. I am totally astounded how you went from that dark image to this. How much time did it take you to go from that original image to this?
Usually takes several minutes of editing. So that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
I am blown away. Having seen that bird on that telephone pole way out in the distance, I can't believe that.
So what is the software you use to edit the?
One, 3 or 4. It depends. I always use Darktable and GIMP, but then sometimes I use Windows Photos. The important part is to know which tools to use because you can never, ever use a tool that distorts, removes, or adds information that wasn't there to begin with. RAW, always RAW, NEF, or NRW.